Welcome back everyone to our career mode series of NASCAR Heat 4. So we're coming off of an absolutely great finish at Atlanta, and it's time to move on to another mile-and-a-half track at Las Vegas. So we're sitting 19th in the Gander Outdoors Truck Series standings right now. We're looking good on our incentive contract, which is looking for 2 top 22s in 3 races. So we've got one more race to try to make that happen. So we need to get started on our work plan, but first, we've got some money, and I believe we have enough to do an upgrade. So if we come over to work plan and see our departments, let's go into the upgrade screen there. And indeed we do. We have enough to go from 85 to 90 on the suspension by spending $60,000. Now for right now, I'm holding off on our pit crew. We've already seen just how drastic that can be in the speed of our pit stops and how many spots we can lose or gain. But I want to hold off on that just a little while longer. And so we're going to purchase the upgrade to go from 85 to 90 on suspension. Let's go ahead and purchase that. That takes us down to $17,000. Now we need to move over to the My Team tab. And let's see. So we've got a couple of suspension guys. So we've got Max Harris, who is a suspension specialist. And then we've got Sergey, who is also a suspension specialist. So let's see how much this is going to cost us and how much of this we can get done. All right, looks like that's going to be about it. So to just go up 1, it would cost us $5,300. To go up 2, $14,300. So that's going to take up most of our money. We'll go ahead and do that though. All right, so now we really need to get both of these guys up to a 10 as close as we can. But remember, we're getting those bonuses as long as we can drive smoothly and not have a lot of contact with other cars during the race. We'll get those bonuses that will help us out. So I feel pretty good about where we are. We're now going to have a stronger suspension for our next race. And then down the road, we'll get into our pit crew as well. So now let's come back into our work plan. In the previous video, I had already taken care of this before we got into the race. So now this will be our first opportunity to actually go through this and see how it works out. Now the first thing I want to look at is our Speedway chassis number 2, which it says needs repair. But if you remember at the end of our previous video, we saw that we still have some nice bonuses. Normally this would be 70s across the board here, but we got some very nice bonuses, so it didn't go down nearly that far. We want to continue that. So let's go and work on, let's see, Speedway chassis number 1. And if we look at the upcoming tracks in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that Vegas is a speedway, but then we go to Martinsville, which is a short track, and then we go to back-to-back-to-back speedway. So we're going to do a lot of speedways. That's why we have 2 chassis for that particular type of track. Let's go ahead and assign an employee. We could do auto assign, but I've had some issues with auto assign and not putting the right employees in the right places, so we're going to do it manually. Now we need to come in under arrow, and it does nicely show the employees that are specialists in the area that you're currently choosing. So suspension, we have our suspension specialist. We're going to put Sergey to work there. You can see we're not quite up to 90 on suspension, but very, very close. All right, let's now move over to the short track, and we're going to do the same thing. All right, there we go. So if we keep up the good work on the track, the clean racing, we should be maxed out starting with our next race, which would be Martinsville. So everything is looking really good right now. Let's head to the track. All right, folks, it is race time here at Vegas. Looks like we've got some adjustments pre-race. Tyler Dipple failed inspection, so he'll be going to the rear. We were once again 1.5+ seconds off the pace of the pole, but hey, we're out here and we're going to try to make it happen. We want the best finish possible, and hopefully that means a top 22 because that's our goal position to obtain. 6 laps here in stage 1. Really want to do some longer races in the future, but for right now we're going to stick with some shorter ones until we get our truck upgraded, and then we can move forward. Oh yeah, that did not work out well at all. Trying to get to the bottom, but the truck had other ideas. Trying to side draft a little bit. Love to see those AI trucks all over the place, from the very bottom around the white line all the way to the top. We're spending most of our time around the middle and top right now because it's nearly impossible for me to keep the truck on the bottom without getting out of the gas really early. Running up a little bit higher is a lot more comfortable and feels really nice in the truck. Plus, we're trying to figure out what kind of speed we've got, so we're going to see where we stack up right now. Just outside of our goal position of 22nd. Try to get back down to the bottom a little bit if we can. Off the gas really early on entry. Alright, that was good. We'll have to see how the speed goes. Looks like Joe Nemechek coming up to our outside. 2 laps here in stage 1. Once again, off the gas really early on entry. Oh, had to get out of the gas. Nemechek coming up on our outside, and I just did not have the rotation in the truck to keep in it. So got way tight off the corner. But look at Nemechek. He is motoring up through the field now. He found a burst of speed from somewhere. Looks like he's going to try to go the high side. Alright, so our first big decision is about to happen at the end of stage 1, which will be in just a couple of corners. In fact, it'll probably end before we get out of turn 4. Alright, 25th position, which is about where I figured we would be. So now we come to our first decision about do we pit or not. I will be pitting. Because, well, for one thing, we're 25th, so we're not that far from the back. But we saw last race, tires matter. So let's go ahead and pit, and we'll advance to the start of stage 2. So it looks like no one else pitted. Really? Like no one? All right. Well, that should be good for us here in stage 2. It was good for us at Atlanta. I'm a little surprised that nobody pitted at all. Alright, so I'm just running partial throttle to see what we've got. I really nowhere for me to go right now, even if we've got the speed on them. So let's see what we've got with these brand new tires. Out of the gas really early on entry because I don't know how these guys are handling up here. Trying to give these guys as much room as I can. Trying to keep the truck down on the track, which is easier said than done right now. And trying to follow that Food Country USA truck up through the field. That's Parker Kligerman. Trying to follow him up through if I can. He's gotten a little bit ahead of me now. Lost track of him. Alright, so we do have a little bit of speed here, but tires not worth as much here at Vegas as at Atlanta. Alright, there we go. A good exit off of turn 2, and you can see we're going to make up a couple of spots. Try to keep it down on the bottom, and hopefully we can get clear. Oh, we've got a wreck. There is no caution. Wow, no caution there. We come home 25th in stage 2. So that was a lot of action at the very end. All right, so 23 laps remaining. Obviously, we're going to pit here. No reason not to. Everybody else is pitting. Of course, our pit crew, not too good. So let's see. Where do we go? Okay, we didn't lose all of the positions. There were still a couple of guys behind us. So our pit crew is at least not the worst on every pit stop. But imagine what we'll be able to do when our pit crew is really upgraded. So right now I'm not terribly worried about doing that because I kind of like the feel of being a second or right now a third tier team and trying to work our way up through, and a pit crew like we have right now really fits into that idea. But as we improve the rest of the truck and become more competitive, then we'll improve our pit crew as well. So I think we were actually 3 wide coming off that corner. Yes, we were. So we got some fresh Goodyear rubber on the truck now, and boy, we got some speed right now. I don't know if these other guys, I wasn't paying close enough attention. I assumed everybody would take 4. Maybe some of these guys only took 2. There's our buddy Parker Kligerman in the 75 truck. Ooh, look out. Ooh, Kligerman's struggling quite a bit in turn 2 there. I had to get completely out of the gas to give him a little room. But he was able to gather it up, and we're back on our way. You can see the 33 truck making up some nice ground on the high side during all this. So it's a battle, even back for 25th and 28th positions. It's always a battle. Everybody giving everything they've got, just trying to get every point they can. Oh, truck is just tight right there. He was pretty tight on me on my right hand side, so I couldn't keep my foot in it, so he's going to get that spot. Once again, we're going to try to get below him. And okay, I can stay in it this time. And you can see we get a much better run off the corner. So now we're up to 26th. All right, so we certainly are not going to have the speed relative to the AI that we had at Atlanta. Of course, there were some tire issues going on that ultimately allowed us to get a lot of spots, but our strategy worked out at Atlanta. Not going to be quite as good here. This is more a representation of where we are as far as speed in the career mode right now. A lot of upgrades still left to do. We're down on motor, we're down on aero. Both of those things are slowing us down on the straightaway. And then of course the aero as well as the chassis grip are slowing us down in the corners, so we got a lot of work to do. Oh, we've had, looks like a pit stop there. Somebody was in and out of the pits, didn't notice who it was. All right, right now looks like, well, I was going to let him go. The 46 truck came up with a big head of steam. Unfortunately for him, he chose to get right in behind me rather than trying to pass me, because I was not going to block him. He is clearly faster than us right now, so we're going to try to hang in here on the outside and see what we can do. Oh, look out, we are 3 wide. Yikes. Now that was close, but that was also quite a bit of fun, I must admit. The racing that I'm seeing with the AI in NASCAR Heat 4, there are certainly some issues. We've seen issues each year with the AI, but by far and away, this is the best AI I've seen in the game. It can be quite a bit of fun to race with the AI, particularly once they get spread out some. We've seen in times past it's better to race with a few of them rather than trying to race all of them when they're all packed in together. All right, these guys are coming in a hurry on us. And I mean in a hurry. I don't know what happened there, but these guys have found some speed and we are losing it. All right, so right now we're looking for the checkered flag because we are struggling. I mean, when Jennifer Jo Cobb and Natalie Decker are running by you that quickly, you know something's wrong. All right, so lap 27 out of 36, soon to be 28 of 36. So the truck's not handling bad. I mean, it's really tight. And I'm spending a lot of time out of the gas, but all things considered, it's not bad. It could certainly be worse right now. In the way it's handling, but you can tell we just don't have the speed to keep up with these guys. They are pulling away from us rather easily. Oh, we've got a caution flag. So let's see, do we come in and pit? Well, this is an easy one for us. 9 laps to go. We are definitely pitting. Let's go ahead and accept that. Advance to the next start. So it looks like we lost another car. I saw smoke was the reason for the caution, I assume. All right, so we pitted. And let's see if our tires are worth anything to us. Only 5 laps to go after running the caution laps. So we're going to try to jump in here and get what we can get. Put this fresh rubber to good use. In years past, there would have been no reason to come in for new tires because there was no tire wear. Now, very different story. It changes everything about calling a race as a crew chief and a driver and how you drive the car or truck. All right, so we got a great run on Infinger, who's going to come down to block. All right, we got a terrible entry into turn 3. Yikes. You can see I had to get completely out of the throttle very early, allowing Infinger to get back by us. All right, so we got good position on end finger, a little bit better angle into the corner this time. Got down on the apron a little bit, not disastrous, thankfully, but certainly didn't help our speed. All right, final 2 laps. Let's see what we've got. Let's make up a few positions here. See if we can get a good run. Oh yeah, great run through the center of 1 and 2 there. Great run. Oh, trying to stay in the gas as much as I can, trying to get to Clearman. Not going to work. So we got 1 more lap. Let's see if we can have another 1 and 2 like we did last time and get some good momentum. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're beating these guys through turn 1 and 2. Let's see if we can hold it through 3 and 4 and move our way up to 23rd position. He's pretty tight on our door here. I could not stay in the gas. Just couldn't do it. So a good move by Clearman. He'll come home 23rd, and we'll come home right behind him in 24th. So once again, our speed rating is going to be tremendous. And let's go ahead and continue on. There you see the finishing order. So 24th. Once again, we were looking for top 20s and top 25s. And that's pretty much the range we're in right now. So we'll keep inching our way forward and improving our truck. And over the long haul, by the end of the season, hopefully we'll be in the playoffs and can contend for a championship. You notice our total race earnings, a little over $30,000. That's always nice and appreciated. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward and exit the event. And we'll move on and see what kind of Twitter feedback we get this time. All right, here we go. Wear and tear takes us down to 70. But then smooth driving gives us huge savings back up to 77, 76, and 76. We will take that. That is awesome. All right, let's move on. And incentive contract, we didn't quite get there. We were just outside the top 22 at Vegas, which means that we will not complete that incentive contract. All right, let's see what we get here. Josh Balicki has some nice praise for us. I'm always impressed with Claudius every time I race, and today was no different. Claudius Magnifico was perfect at Las Vegas. So Magnifico is turning out to be very appropriate so far in this season. We'll send him a compliment. Thank you very much, friend. And let's see, what do we have here? As usual, Claudius Magnifico was amazing at Las Vegas. He's just the best, and I'm super excited because we are going fishing together this weekend. All right, Raphael. I like it. Going fishing. All right, so that'll do it for the Twitter feed. There's that nice looking truck in the background. Really like those colors. Tried to match it up as best I could to our sponsor, Fitzgerald. All right, so now we're ready for race number 7, which, oh, we've got a hot seat offer before we get to that. So, Xfinity Series race number 7. Let's look for a hot seat offer. What do we have? We have BJ McLeod Motorsports, a 3-star team, and they're looking for a top 35 finish, and for that, they'll pay us $45,000. Wow, that is absolutely huge money for us if we can get it, because our finishes in the trucks have been getting us around $30,000 per race, so 45 would be a nice chunk of money, and it's at Bristol. So all sorts of things lining up. But we'll take care of that in our next video. For now, thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our career mode series of NASCAR Heat 4.